Hey guys, this is the Fat Panda with another video of a battle I had. This isn't actually for my gym. This is a battle for the current generation tournament we're having in, I guess you call it, celebration of the announcement for Generation 6. Basically what it is for this tournament is we all pick our, I guess, favorite generation, whatever it was, give me the generation that got you into Pokemon, or the one that you just had the most fun with, or maybe it was what got you into competitive battling, whichever one you want, whatever you consider to be the reason for your favorite. And you pick a team consisting only of Pokemon from that generation, and there's the little thing being where don't try to make, you shouldn't necessarily make the most competitive team you can from that generation. Make teams consisting of Pokemon that you loved just using, not necessarily because they were good. Maybe you like the design of them. Maybe they were what you used in a playthrough back before you even knew what anything, how anything worked. Stuff like that. So as you can see from the teams, my team is a Gen 1 team. I've always had a massive thing for grass types, so I picked my 3 favorites from Generation 1. I really like Ninetales, even before the drop. I just love the look of Ninetales, but I had a little, I guess you'd call it a pact with Brindle from the league that I couldn't use Ninetales in this match. So I decided to go for Vulpix with Eviolite instead, because Vulpix is also very cool, and she evolves into Ninetales, so it's kind of an homage. Kind of, not really, but we'll go with it. Rapidash has always been amazing. Even better now with the physical special split, so she's actually, well, I can't say useful. Bad move pool and bad stats and whatnot, but she's still fun. I love it. And then Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff were easily my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, without a doubt. They're awful, but don't even care. I will use it whenever I can. No question about it. So, I'm playing, this is going to be the losers bracket match. It's the, I guess you'd say, first round losers bracket, I believe. My opponent here is Faaln. Looking at it, he's got a Gen 2 team. Whenever I hear somebody's using a Gen 2 team, I was always a little worried that they'd be running Tyranitar, who is very popular. Not only because he's good, but because he's pretty badass. And that would really wreck any sort of sun I could get up with my team, which is kind of the only thing that can keep my team from doing anything to an opponent. If I lose sun, all I have are slow chlorophyll sweepers, which kind of sucks. But looking at his team, he's got 6 actually pretty good Pokemon. Espeon will be annoying. I use a lot of non-attack moves that Magic Bounce would destroy me, or I can't use anymore because I have to fear the Magic Bounce. Houndoom wrecks about half my team, at least. Kingdra is actually the thing in the end that scares me the most, which you'll see. But it could be special, it could be physical, Dragon Dance, it could even run Rain Dance itself and abuse Swift Swim, which I was scared about. Umbreon's a fantastic wall, Scizor just wrecks everything, and Slowking is also a pretty darn good wall. So it's actually a decent team. Worries me a little bit considering my team is entirely never used or lower. He's got a couple OUs and whatnot in there, so I was slightly worried, but let's see how it goes. I might as well just get started. This is a very long match. It ended up being 131 turns. Once it gets to the absolutely boring part, I will let you know and you can just stop watching. Because it'll be fairly obvious, I think, who's going to win at that point. So here I open up with Vulpix, because I assume he doesn't have weather unless he runs Rain Dance on Kingdra, just to get the sun up, and now he's fodder. He opens with Espeon, which actually really screws up my Vulpix, considering it is actually Taunt Bait. It has no attacks of its own. So he opens up with Hidden Power. I assume it's ground. It's ground or rock. I would be amazed if it was water. So it does decent damage to Vulpix, but Eviolite actually makes her decently bulky. I get a sub up. Goes for the Calm Mind. I just go for the Pain Split to do a decent amount of damage. That's one of the best things about using EV light users, this paint split actually does a lot more than you would think. And I get a decent amount of health back. So Espeon Calm Minds once. Goes for the hidden power again. This will break the sub. It would have broken the sub without the Calm Minds, so that kind of is irritating a little bit. However, I use this opportunity to roar, which actually won't phase Espeon out, but it does phase Vulpix out, which was the plan. I was really hoping I'd get a good switch, because I couldn't control it, but it was a free switch, since otherwise, you know, I would have been a complete waste of the sub. Unfortunately, I get Vileplume, who's 100% worthless right here. So what I end up having to do is switching back to Vulpix and using it simply as fodder. It goes down to the Psychic here, no questions. Kind of depressing. I was kind of hoping I could save it later to fodder it, but crit Psychic, that's just going to destroy the Vulpix. I don't actually know if that attack by itself would have taken it out, but I didn't want to have, you know, if it hadn't, I probably would have just kept it in the foddered anyway at that point. So here I go with Victory Bell in the sun. It's going to be faster. It is a mixed attacker, so I go for Leaf Blade first. It's a mixed growth attacker, but I knew Psychic would take it out, so I have to go for the Leaf Blade. I was fairly confident it would take out the Espeon, which it does, so I'm very thankful for that. Victory Bell is actually really good. I could see it in OU. The only problem is it can never have its best moves together because it has incompatible egg moves, and it has a Sucker Punch tutor, which is unfortunately in the 4th gen, so you can't even breed it with its fantastic egg moves, Weather Ball and Power Whip. So it's got 3 amazing moves to go with Growth, but it can never use them at the same time. Kinda sucks. Here goes the Houndoom. I predict a Flamethrower, Fire Blast, whatever, so I switch to my Flash Fire Rapidash. Go for the Wild Charge here. After the free switch, he goes for Dark Pulse. I was kind of sad to see it wasn't like Scarfed or Spectre or whatever, but Rapidash does survive here, which means since I'm faster, I can just go for the Wild Charge. I was expecting to double KO here and just get a free switch, or just get a reset. But while I take out the Houndoom, the recoil actually doesn't finish me off. I end up with 6 health, which was fantastic because now I get to see what he goes for and bring in something that counters it. I was debating trying to switch to something that could take a Bullet Punch, but I realized there wasn't anything that could take 2 Bullet Punches on my team, which kind of sucked. So I switch in my Victory Bell now, and I use the egg move that I went for on Weather Ball, which is in stuns. It's just disgusting. It's great coverage for Leaf Blade, and I don't think he expected that at all, because otherwise Victory Bell has absolutely nothing that can damage a Sizar. He's probably really confused as to why I switched to Victory Bell. Probably switching to, I don't know, Hidden Power or something maybe. I don't know. I would have even feared Hidden Power Fire, which is very common on Grass-type Special Sweepers. So I get the free hit there. I screw up here a little. I don't know if I screwed up here. I go for a Leaf Blade unboosted. And when I asked Faaln how much HP I left, he had 6 HP, which kind of irritated me, because that means bye-bye Victory Bell. Granted, I can't complain considering Rapidash survived earlier. I just, I hate to see that happen. Another critical hit. We've had actually several crits. That's 3 crits already. None of them, I don't think, really mattered in the end, so who really cares? Unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. He gets the KO on Victory Bell, which I didn't think should have happened there. So I just switched to Vileplume, who Chlorophyll, Giga Drain. He's slow as balls, but everything is faster than Slowking, pretty much. So didn't have to worry about anything there. He goes to his Umbreon, which I know is synchronized. Otherwise, I would have probably gone for Sleep Powder or Stun Spore. Well, I guess it doesn't have to have synchronized, but what else would you run on it? So I just switched to Wigglytuff, which can tank pretty much infinite foul plays, considering it has no attack. And I actually get a Cute Charm Infatuation, which I have never seen before. So I laughed a little bit at that, which actually forces him out into Kingdra. And I go for the Stealth Rocks here. I mean, granted, he has exactly, I think, 2 Pokemon left at this point, so Stealth Rocks don't really do anything. But I was thinking, hey, do every little bit of damage I can. I went for the Protect here. I was expecting like a Draco Meteor or something, some big attack. He actually Dragon Danced, which at this point I was like, well, I lost, crap. He's got a Dragon Dance Kingdra. At this point, he's already +1. If I switched right now to something, he'd be at +2, assuming he goes for another Dragon Dance, which he does. And +2 should be able to take out anything on my team. So at this point, what I was thinking was, crap, I'm going to just start spamming Flamethrower. That's going to do 0 damage. I mean, he's got a 4 times resist to it. But I was hoping for that incredibly lucky burn since I saw that he has leftovers. I knew burning him would actually potentially do something. The sad part is, he just keeps Dragon Dancing. He's at +3/+3 now. I'll go for another Flamethrower. But once again, no burn. I mean, granted, it's 10% shad, so it would take incredible luck for me to get that. But I was thinking, you know, this is the only way I'm going to survive. I'm just watching him get heavy, you know, getting bigger and bigger, and I'm like, crap. So he's at +4/+4 right now. At this point, I know I'm doomed. I mean, I have 3 left. That could be, he could just lock himself into Outrage. At this point, if he gets 3 Outrages off, that's 3 hits right there. You know, each of these guys, I mean, Really Tough is max defense plus bold, but that doesn't mean anything. He actually goes for a waterfall here, which surprised the heck out of me. Well, I mean, not only does it not do half my health, I'm surprised he used it, because Sun is up. I was expecting him to go for an Outrage, which would have 1-hit KO my Wigglytuff. I mean, that was 80 base power, but cut in half. 120 base power, not cut in half, would have just wrecked me. And that's, I mean, granted, both are stab, but still. 120 gets a much better stab bonus. So I switched to Vileplume here. He goes for the waterfall. I just wanted to save my Wigglytuff, and I knew Vileplume was actually pretty bulky. He tanked the waterfall, no problem. I went for a Sleep Powder here. I was like, you know, he's going to outspeed me. I'm hoping he goes for a Dragon Dance instead of an Outrage or anything, but he does get the Outrage off. I mean, I expected it. I was just hoping he'd make a bad play, and I could put this Kingdra to sleep and just wreck it. But, no, I lose Vileplume. But this actually gives me a chance to switch. Now that he's locked in Outrage, I can switch back to Wigglytuff to protect, which is actually significant. So I get a Protect off here. If I'm lucky, he'll only get a 2-turn Outrage. Goes to Outrage. It's protected again this turn. And he does get confused, so I got lucky, only a 2-turn, whatchamacallit, Outrage. So now I'm just praying that he just gets a little confusion hacks while I switch to my Executor, who's the only thing I have that can hurt him. Granted, you know, he's neutral to Giga Drain because of his Dragon typing. So he hits himself in confusion once, and I was like, alright, good, I get another turn. And then I realized he's at +4 attack, which means he's doing over 50% of his health to himself. So now I'm like, holy crap. If I get super lucky and he hits himself again, Kingdra's gone. And he does. So in the end, Executor didn't even need to do anything. Kingdra finished himself off for me. So at this point, I'm fairly sure I've won the battle. This is where it gets really, really boring. All he has left is Umbreon. Umbreon is not running Toxic, which is a terrible, terrible mistake in 99% of battles. It's running Wish Protect, Heal Bell, and Foul Play. I have to switch to Wigglytuff for the Foul Plays because I wasn't sure how much it would do to Executor, as low as his attack may be. When I looked it up, when I calculated it later, it turned out that the Foul Play would do around 40% on average to Executor. So it was actually something to fear, because I know I can't 2 or 3 hit KO. I can't 3-hit KO Umbreon in any way with Executor. I mean, Umbreon's special defense is sky high. So this is what the battle it's just, you can stop watching here. At this point, I'll just let you know, spoiler, I win this battle. I stall out Umbreon until it struggles itself to death. Basically, all I do is I just start spamming Stealth Rocks I heal up whenever I have to. I keep myself out of crit range because I know that this is going to be such a long battle that crits are going to happen. So I just keep myself out of crit range, health, and start spamming stealth rocks in order to, you know, I'm just lowering his PP. I can't hurt him. Even in the sun, I have flamethrower. I can't really hurt him, and it's not... I do it a little bit in the beginning, and then I wisen up and realize I really don't want to spam flamethrower, because if I burn him, he burns me. And that's not good for a Stalwar. I would rather keep us neutral and at full health. So I'll wisen up to that at some point and just start spamming stealth rocks. I don't know if I agree with this decision. I do get an infatuation off, and at that point, if I was playing from Faaln's position, I would have realized I can actually outstall this Wigglytuff because of the infatuation. Technically, it's a 50% chance to not move. If you watch through this whole thing, you'll see I don't know who gets luckier, but he actually is infatuated a lot more than 50%. It's probably 75% or higher. It's actually pretty crazy. If there was any way to make infatuation a viable, way to stall things out, it would actually be pretty good if it's actually a 75% chance. I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be 50, but maybe I just got lucky, or he got lucky, or whatever. I don't know how to put it, because it is a Stalwar. He wants to move less than me, because we can't hurt each other. But yeah, so for the next, God only knows how many turns, actually looking at it. Yeah, we're on turn 33. This goes to 131. That's how long this is. Basically what happens is I use up all of my PP. I use all of my flamethrowers, all of my stealth rocks, wishes, and protects. And he still has PP because of his infatuation. So I just keep switching back and forth with my Executor, because at that point he can't hurt me, because he uses all his foul plays in the beginning, which was a terrible choice. He should have just started burning wishes and protects and some heal bells, because he needs to save foul plays for my Executor. But he doesn't, so whatever. Basically what happens is, I use all my PP on Wigglytuff, and then start switching back and forth and back and forth. With Executor, eventually he runs out and of all his attacks and struggles himself to death. If you really want to watch it, well, feel free. To be honest, I will probably cut this short, simply due to the fact that I don't think this memory card on this camera is large enough to hold this long of a battle. Which I just noticed. I think I probably should have cleared this thing first. I only have about 7 minutes of video left, so, I'll keep it on for the next 7 minutes if you really want. But, yeah. I mean, there's really, at this point, nothing to watch. We stand around looking at each other lovingly. Well, he looks at me lovingly while I try to burn his face off, so there's that, I guess. And I start throwing invisible rocks at him. Not the most exciting battle I've ever... I think it's the longest battle I've ever been a part of. But when you get, when you're using not great Pokemon to stall each other, it just gets boring. Actually, I guess Umbreon's good in several cases. Granted, it suffers from crazy move slot syndrome. But, Wigglytuff sucks in 99% of cases. I guess I don't know, I feel bad for Pokemon like Wigglytuff, where there were think Gen 1 alone, there were probably 4 normal types. Wigglytuff, Clefable, Snorlax, and Chansey. I think there aren't any more that fulfill the same purpose. But, 4 very strong, tanky, not strong. 4 very, very tanky, defensive-minded, normal-type Pokemon in Gen 1. I mean, that's just mean. Granted, Snorlax can have a much more offensive presence, or some sort of rest talk presence, so he's kind of different. But Wigglytuff, Clefable, and Chansey all fulfill very similar roles. I mean, they can all do, actually, no, Wigglytuff and Chansey do the exact same things. Clefable can do something funky like Cosmic Power, Stored Power, weird sets like that, but, I mean, it's just kind of mean to, you know, I feel bad for Wigglytuff. When I finally got to competitive battling, I went, holy crap, one of my favorite Pokemon in the entire game was 100% worthless. But it's times like, I mean, this is I think the first battle I've ever had a Wigglytuff do something. I think. Yeah, I know in my first battle for this tournament in this winner's bracket, Wigglytuff just got wrecked. Like one hit KO'd. It was just bad. And that was a physical attack, which on defensive, it was just But, I mean, when you're playing down and never used, she's actually not a terrible Wish Passer. No. Dunno. I just think Chansey's better in every situation. Granted, if you want a Wish Passer, I guess Chansey can't really, unless you're playing on a simulator. Or are someone incredibly lucky who has the 3rd gen event Wish Chansey. But God knows only how many. Yeah, God only knows how many of those exist. It took me forever to find one that was legit. But as you can see, absolutely nothing is happening. Up to turn 51, only 80 more to go. Well, I was looking up. I guess I just don't understand why an Umbreon wouldn't run Toxic. I mean, I don't know. I don't like Wish Protect on Umbreon, actually. Wish Toxic, Heal Bell, Foul Play would probably be a better set, or... Yeah, that would probably be the best set, at least to counter this. Other than that, I'd probably run, like, let's see. Wish, Heal Bell, Curse, and Payback works. Although I don't think Payback has negative priority. So he would actually be paybacking before I attack. I don't think it's the same as Avalanche, which is -4. I think it's actually a 0 priority attack. So that kind of sucks. But how many things is Umbreon actually going to outspeed? So it's not something you have to think of all that often. I do respect his choice not to use a shiny Umbreon. Actually, I don't know if Faaln is an RNG or not, but I really like the look of the regular Umbreon. I'm not a big fan of the blue shiny Umbreon. Then again, I don't really like most blue or green Pokemon shinies. They look kind of disgusting. Kind of like shiny Dragonite. Makes me cringe. Or shiny Salamence also makes me cringe whenever I see it. It's those kind of things that are actually, like, bad for me when an opponent is using it, because I'm so desperate to get rid of it, I gotta go all out, because I just don't want to see it anymore. And I'm still spamming Stealth Rocks. Thank God Stealth Rocks doesn't stack. I'd be doing crazy amounts of damage if you ever switched. I'm running out of things to say. More foul plays. More Stealth Rock spam. At one point he actually does crit me with a foul play, but I was staying way out of crit range, so I knew. So even when I crit, I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen, and I just wished next turn. I mean, granted, he could have gotten super lucky and gotten 2 crits in a row. That was the one kind of, oh god, I hope he doesn't hack me out that bad moment. But, fortunately, it doesn't happen. I think he actually is immobilized after it happens. Hey, here it is. Here's the crit. Let me see what happens. I think he's just immobilized the turn after. Actually, I might protect and then wish, just to get that little bit of health. I don't remember what I do, although I'm out of... Yeah, I do, just in case something funky happens. I mean, I could still be crit knocked out here, but let's see. Yeah, see, it actually could have attacked me that turn, so protect there was actually, it worked. I don't think there was any danger, but and then they get to mobilize the turn. I'm vulnerable. But there's the wish, and then the protect, and then more stealth reps, bam, and then another wish, and then more stealth.